Hi and welcome to another edition of Health Elevation Corner with me, your girl, Jenny Russell. How are you? I hope, like me, you to remember that you are blessed and highly favored, a magnet for miracles, the solution to someone's problem, and the answer to someone's prayer. So I hear some people said, oh, last week was too long. So I shall cut it short. But life is long, yeah? And looking after the body is long. But, we watch films for an hour and a half and we're okay. We're looking after the body. We got a problem with more than 10 minutes. I've noted it. Anyway, this week, I thought it'd be really good if we actually looked at food. And I did want to do, I actually want to do a bit of cooking. But since that's going to take more than 10 minutes, I decided not to do it. So I'm not going to do it. But I want to ask you a question again this week, right? So my question to you this week is, what's your diet like? That's right, your diet. Because every one of us is on a diet. And I was so blessed, actually, when God gives you these little nuggets and things to use to illustrate where people are at. And he gave me this one. And this is a nugget that he gave me. And that it is, love life or love food. So I ask you the question about your diet. So every one of us is on a diet. The only difference is whether our diet is taking us towards optimal health or our diet's taking us towards ill health. So literally, a diet simply means the acronym is an acronym as far as I'm concerned for difference in eating this, difference in eating that. So the difference in having a juice like this, which is just purely carrots, orange, banana, ginger, mint. That's carrots and orange juiced with banana and mint. Or having Coca-Cola, is that with my juice here, one, it will go straight into my bloodstream, but it will give me the nutrition and the vitamins and minerals that I need that will go into my bloodstream. Or I can have the Coke, which will not give me any nutrition, but it will give me a massive sugar hit. That sugar hit is going to create a totally different response for my hormones and my organs than this juice will. So whatever we choose to eat, that is our diet. Whether we choose to eat a diet which is rich in beer, fast food, cigarettes, or quality bottled water, organic, outdoor reared, grass-fed meats, wild fish, that is our choice. The only difference is the food choices that we make, the things we choose to digest, that's the physical foods, but also our mental, emotional food is either going to optimize our health, our vitality, our ability to fight sickness and disease, offset this particular virus and many viruses like it, is going to be increased based on our food choices or decreased based on our food choices. Our ability to have energy for the day, to have vitality, the freshness of our skin, of our hands, the quality of our hair, all of those things are directly impacted by the choices that we make for the foods we choose to eat. Now, I understand, because I'm of Caribbean descent, and I understand that many of us are of different cultures, and our parents' cultural foods and the foods they had were great for our parents back then. In the subtropical climates that they were in, it worked because we were designed, as I said last week, we're designed to eat, move, and be healthy. And move is a really important part. So a lot of the Caribbean countries, a lot of the African nations where it's nice and hot and the land is, the foods that grow there, much drier foods, much sturdy, hardy foods. They were great for us when we were working the land, right? Because we were eating those foods and we were working the land. They gave us the energy and the strength and the vitality we needed to work the land. We could stay out in the sun for long. The slaves knew you could put the dark ones out there and make them work long because they had the energy. A lot of the foods that we had were imported over into those countries when they brought us over as slaves because they knew they actually sustained us for the work we were doing. But today, we pick up the remote control to turn the TV. We don't reach for anything. We park nearest to the car, nearest to the supermarket doors. We don't really want to move. And so therefore, the foods that we had that were conducive with the sunlight we also had, the exposure to the sun, which we do not have in this country, was totally different. And so it serviced us really well and we were able to function as a consequence. But now today, we don't have that. We also have a lot of what we call convenience foods, because we've made life so busy and we've filled our days with so much that actually the art of cooking seems to be something that many of us are lost, and the art of actually cooking good food. So I say, it sounds really bad, right? But I say, I don't eat black food. I eat good food, because the whole point of our diet, our difference in eating this, to energize, to optimize, to anti-age, to strengthen our bones and our joints, is simply that. That's the whole point of our food. It's not just about what we enjoy and to comfort us and to keep us, and just to make us happy in a moment. It's about to keep us vital and relative and useful at any age. That's what our food is for. That's really what it's for. So if we choose to continue to have a diet where 100% of the time it's, as my surrogate dad calls it, it's junk masquerading as food. Because really, food is supposed to feed you at the cellular level, and that's where you get sick at the cellular level and you get well at the cellular level. Then that food has to provide you with the vitamins and minerals and the nutrients that you need, the proteins and the carbohydrates and the fats to do so. If the foods that you're consuming primarily do not give you those things, then you cannot expect to have optimal health, when actually you're not putting the things inside of you that will optimize that health. So you have to understand that, and you have to also understand your mental diet, because your mental diet is, again, it has the ability to activate hormones within the body that will stimulate the pathway that thinks you're under attack, and will suppress your digestion and suppress your ability to assimilate food and to utilize what you need and to get rid of it. If the body thinks it's under attack, and especially for us as females, I will tell us, for us as females, and we have elevated levels of cortisol over a period of time, all the body's going to think is, wow, there's a famine coming, we're going to have a fight, we're in trouble, let's store this as fat, let's store it, because we need fat, especially around our reproductive organs as well, especially in our childbearing years, to protect those organs. Then then that's what we're going to get. We just become what people say you are, what you eat, when you eat, and how you eat. So the environment in which you eat is just as important as the food you eat and the time you choose to eat it. So food is a very deep subject, as is movement. But I know that, it's really to give you a little taster of what the things you should consider. So you've got to ask yourself as well. I did a Facebook Live interview earlier when I was being interviewed. And one of the things I said for pelvic floor is that there's a layer of our pelvic floor that's really made of fascia, which is like really thick connective tissue muscle. But that stuff is made of actually really collagen. And collagen is a substance that begins to diminish in our body from the age of 25. So when you know that, and you know that actually has a major support in reproductive health, in pelvic floor support of the internal organs, then I would suggest that collagen is something that you would keep in your diet. Also, if you want it in terms of vanity and how you look, and in terms of integrity of hair, because hair is collagen as fibers, then collagen is something you need to consider. If you have an issue with tight muscles and lots of cramping and stuff, then magnesium is something you need to consider. That helps to relax muscles. So you need to look for magnesium-rich foods. So you need to look for collagen-rich foods, or you can make your own bone broths. But there's so many different facets to it. Vitamin C, we already know we need. Again, that helps with collagen. That also helps with muscle elasticity and integrity. We know we need it for immune function and immune support. So there is so many different facets to food. And if you want to be well, then you need to know what is it you're intaking, why it is you're intaking. And if you want to treat yourself, because people say, well, then, good food is boring. No, it depends on how you cook it. I'm going to try and finish this video with a few of some of our meals that we've made, that have come down with me over the last year. Absolutely phenomenal meals. But if you want to be able to be in that position to optimize your health, then optimize the treats you give yourself. And for me, I call good food a treat. If we change the language, then we don't look at diets as being something that's going to ruin us. We look at something that's going to actually enhance where we are, because that's all it is. If we look at treats, who treats themselves to things that's going to destroy them? We don't call those treats outside. But when it comes to our food, we call it a treat. So I'm going to treat myself to a cake and a biscuit. No, I treat myself to optimal health. And if I feel like indulging in something different, knowing that my body can actually work with that and work to offset that or any of the ill effects it will have, that is a choice I can make. And that's how I see it. So don't say to your child, if you eat your greens, which will give you all the nutrition at the cellular level, I will treat you to a cake. Say to your child, if you treat yourself well, you can afford to have these things on the top. But as long as yours is 80-20, you're fine. But until you are 100% where you need to be, you need to stay 100% committed. So that's what I want to say today. If you want any more information, you can find me at Pelvic Secrets on Instagram and Twitter, Jenni with an I, Russell on Facebook and LinkedIn. And you can also look at my website, www.jennirussell.com, and find me there. But otherwise, this is Jenni saying, stay blessed, stay well. Your body is your business. And I'll tell you what, you make your business work for you, and God will richly reward you. Remember, the Holy Spirit lives in here. Let him live in a temple that's well hydrated, well fed, plenty of nutrition and plenty of vitality. Then we can be useful at